Say about the AFC South. So I think
there's a history in this league of
Brought him up.
That's an example.
So
I didn't want to make
finish
him the
this.
subject.
For those who believe, for those who are ready.
you have no idea what song
I
it is.
have no idea which one it is.
It's a hot song right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live on the Doug Saravo Show, which is brought to you by our good friends at Unsolicited Role Models. The role models you may not want, but you may just need. We got Jimmy Drust, we got Dougie Saravo, and another football season has come and gone, and we're excited for it. Joe Burrow had an MVP season, so we're looking forward to see if he wins an award. Jamar Chase, Triple Crown. So, like I said, Joe Burrow was hungry, and he came back, and he proved that he's one of the best.
He's gonna come back player of the year.
Yeah, he'll get one of them.
He's not gonna MVP.
Yeah,
So-
because they had, if they were
If
going to
he
give it to
dragged
him.
him into the playoffs, he would have got MVP.
Yeah,
But at the same time, it's not.
yeah, because it's probably going to be Josh Allen.
Yeah, I mean,
With the team he had, I can't see why it's not
Lamar
him.
had the team. There's a difference. Like I always say that Lamar actually had a team. Why do you think he didn't rush as much as he did?
Because he had Derrick Henry,
He had
one of
Derrick.
the best backs in the game.
Yeah, he had, and he was 105 yards short of that because of one person,
Yeah,
Saquon Barkley. And
poor Giants.
then Jamar's gonna get offensive player of the year.
Yeah,
He's
I
gonna,
think they're.
he's gonna get that.
I think
There's-
it's set in stone who's going to get the.
Yeah,
awards.
those two awards are theirs. But MVP, the only one that like hands over my head a little bit is the DOPY.
Defensive. Yeah,
Because
I think Jaden's going to get the offensive rookie of the year.
you mean Jamar?
No,
Oh,
Jaden Daniels.
yeah. Him, I don't know. I'll put another name in there. Brock Bowers.
Yeah, he's been quiet.
Like not even quiet.
No, he's on a quiet team, so no one's going to really care. But
But still, he has the most rookie receptions.
Oh, yeah,
of
he's
all
had the
time,
numbers.
and the numbers and everything.
the numbers to prove it.
Like Jaden Daniels, he's only getting that because he's a quarterback. If he's played under position, it will go to Brock Bowers.
Yeah, but I think because of the way he took the Commanders from one of the worst teams to 12 wins.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a great head coach, but still.
Yeah. I mean, he's a good quarterback and everything. And then when you have Scary Terry in that corner and that offense was pretty good, and the defense played very well too. Not like elite, but they played very well.
Yeah.
Like it's still, Dan Quinn is probably going to like go more towards the offseason after the playoffs. You see how far they go. I think he might take a defensive push next season.
Yeah. And just some of my takeaways, and then we could get to yours before we get to the playoffs and our brackets.
Mm-hmm.
Bengals a lot better than what the record says. Chiefs are not a 15-2 win team. The Saints, I think they have their franchise guy in Spencer Rattler.
Tough to say.
Giants, if they draft a quarterback, they need to find a veteran, maybe like Kirk Cousins or Jameis Winston, because I don't think these guys are franchise-changing guys in Shador or Cam. Maybe go out and trade for JJ. So those are my takeaways from the season. Joe Burrow, love you, guy. What's your takeaways?
For this season, Jesus, I think definitely Denver's got better. I think Bo Nix has definitely proven himself to be coming up shortly, but who knows? Because I've been saying this for a while. I think it's because they were having so much success because they were like the fourth in their division, so they were playing everybody they sucky, and they got better.
Yeah.
Like this is for the Broncos, the Minnesota, and this is also for Washington. So don't be surprised if you see like the Giants or somebody next year that has playing better and like is going to play in the playoff caliber because they're in the fourth and they're playing everybody like that is sucky.
Yeah, I agree with the Giants. They're not bad. Great defense. I think they have a good head coach, but the quarterback position is holding them back. Malik Neighbors proved that he's an an elite receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Tyrone Tracy, who we found him out of nowhere, and he could be a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Running back.
Running back.
And I'll say one more team, and I think you said it in our chat. Watch out for Carolina.
I think so.
Unless Bryce Young goes somewhere else, if he gets traded.
Yeah, but I think they have the pieces in place. I think they jumped from 2 wins to 5, so that's a huge accomplishment for
Well,
them.
especially towards the end, like after that Giants game, they found confidence. Like they were barely losing
Mhm.
games. Like it was always close. Maybe the Cowboys game was out of hand because too many mistakes.
Yeah.
But every other game you could think of, they're always once possession games.
Mm-hmm.
So like he's proven to be better, and that's the difference I told you about with CJ Stroud. Like he had one great year, and he had one crappy year,
Uh-huh.
a year and a half, you could say. After that like Giants game, he's been like slowly climbing up.
Yeah.
Stroud's been slowly going down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a sophomore slump or it's the system.
Or it could be just him.
Yeah.
Because when you lose Diggs, but then you get back Nico Collins, it's the same team you had last year.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's just...
And then you upgrade it in running back. Yeah, Singletary's great, but I'll take Joe Mixon every day.
I'll take Joe Mixon any day of the week. So who knows?
Yeah.
It was a good NFL season because it wasn't okay. We know, just like that one year the Steelers went 9-0. It wasn't that.
2020.
We don't know who could win the Super Bowl this year. It could be Detroit. It could be Philly. It could be Buffalo. It could be Baltimore. Kansas City, don't sleep on them yet. But this is the one season going into the playoffs that I'm actually excited to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, since he's not here, we're going to start with David Mendoza's bracket. So it looks like he has the Phillies defeating the Baltimore Ravens in the Super Bowl. His final 4 teams: the Ravens, Kansas City, Philly, and Detroit. Where do we stand on David's bracket?
It's a good bracket. I mean, you can't. I mean, because I think it could happen that way. Because I think Baltimore, Kansas City could be the AFC Championship like last year. That absolutely can be. The Detroit Philly will be an interesting game, very interesting. But I think what Dave's thinking is Philly has a better defense, and Saquon and the offense would keep them in that game. So that's why I think that, and that's why. And then Baltimore and Philly, we already saw a preview of that already. We saw that Philly beat them and everything. That can beat them and everything. So, especially now, I think because Jalen. That being said, the third string quarterback has been playing great too.
Yeah.
Like that offense is just still good even without him.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. But Jalen Hurts does make that offense a lot better. So I could see Philly taking all the way. And I mean, I think a lot of people had Philly as that team that would win. I think we did it too. I think we had Philly win the division because they have a curse there.
Yeah.
That no same team wins the division.
Mm-hmm. Back to back.
and
It hasn't
yeah.
been a back to back.
Not yet, at least. It could happen next year. It could happen years prior. Who knows? But for right now, it's still true to this day.
All right, so now we're gonna get to our boy Jonathan's. All right, so John's bracket. He has Detroit beating Baltimore. His final 4 is Kansas City, Baltimore, Detroit, and Philly. What do we think of Jonathan's?
It's the same thing. He just put Detroit over Philly. Everybody has Baltimore going because Baltimore's playing at the right time.
Yeah.
But my concern is now you have Say Flowers out. He's your number 1 guy.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your number 2?
I can't even tell you.
Mark Andrews.
Yeah, that's the thing with Baltimore. They have the tight end and the receiver. They don't really have the 3 receivers like some teams do.
They're going to rely on the running game heavily against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
They're going to rely heavily on that game, on that running game. What happens if Pittsburgh takes that away? And they demand you to throw it. And I know Pittsburgh's been on this 4-game losing streak, but come on, it's still Pittsburgh and Baltimore. It's still that rivalry that's still going to.
Yeah, it's still there.
It's still there no matter what. And think of it. you're 0-0. It's a whole new season.
Yeah, and if you watched, I think Hard Knocks, Russell was like, "Hey, listen to me. Let's go win the last 4."
Yeah, exactly. Listen. They could prove that they can. And like we even said, who had the hardest schedule the whole entire time? Who had the hardest schedule?
I don't know.
Pittsburgh did.
Pittsburgh.
They were ranked number 1 with the hardest schedule, if you think about it. Because we all thought the Browns would be the same team or
Browns
better.
fell apart.
Browns fell apart. Bengals, what always happens? They have a slow start,
Mm-hmm.
which that's a curse to them.
Yeah, but they finished the season strong.
No, they finished strong. Same with last year. They started off shitty and then lost their quarterback and still finished at 9-8.
Mm-hmm. All right,
Good.
but I think it's just the one possession games that made a difference for a lot of teams. Chiefs
Yes.
could be like 5-11, and the Bengals could be 14-3. So for a lot of teams, one possession games was a huge difference for
Yes.
a lot of them.
It's a big thing, especially if we're going with Kansas City. They had a lot of things going their way.
Yeah, the field goals.
The field goal, the block field goal, the flag at the end, a couple other things that went their way
Mm-hmm.
and everything. So who knows? This is playoff time, so we'll see what happens this
Yeah,
time.
if they go one and done, the Chiefs. See, and here's the thing, because Giants are my team.
Mm-hmm.
I love Joe Burrow,
Mm-hmm.
but I would definitely root for the Bengals. I do root for the Bengals to win,
So if Joe Burrow wasn't there, you still root for the Bengals?
probably.
Okay.
Kansas City, I like Patrick Mahomes.
But if he left there, you don't even root for them.
No, I don't mind seeing I don't mind seeing Mahomes win. But I hate the rest of the Kansas City Chiefs. I hate Travis Kelce and how he's arrogant and cocky. Same thing. I think I respect Jason Kelce, but I don't like the Eagles. So the Chiefs, I do not want to see them win. This is the one year I do not want to see the Kansas City Chiefs win a Super Bowl.
I think everyone's getting tired of it now.
Like, I have a lot of respect for you, Patrick Mahomes, if you're listening.
Yeah.
But the rest of your team, I could care less. Like, if you came to the Giants, I'd freaking love that.
Yeah.
Won't happen, but I would love to have
When-
Patrick
when he's
Mahomes as a quarterback.
When he's 40?
Yeah, the Aaron Rodgers effect.
Yeah, when he's 40. No. I could agree on that because if you look at their other teammates, minus Travis Kelce, one is out for the year, but also hasn't been charged with any accident that he caused and everything. And then you have linemen that are getting in trouble too, but nothing's happened to them. Why? Why has all this not happened? Because they're the new New England Patriots.
Yeah, I guess you could put it that way.
They're the
You
new-
can.
They are the New England. Now, I don't think they're going to be caught for cheating because Andy Reid's not like that. Andy Reid will stoop to that level. Belichick, I could see because there's many things that happen this way. He got fined for it, but nothing happened to him. He didn't get suspended or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't care. They just knew they have a freaking team, a new face of the NFL. So then, what's the point of having all these teams if they're the face?
Yeah,
So every year should be different with different.
it
teams.
should be.
With different teams in their face. So if Detroit goes to the Super Bowl and face Kansas City and they beat them, they're the new face.
Who
They're
knows?
the best team in football right now. I don't care what the records say with Kansas City. Like
That's
you
what I'm
said,
saying. I don't care about their record.
Detroit is the better team. If you look offensively and defensively, they're the better team.
Like, I think the Bengals are better than the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Record aside, I think they're better than the Chiefs.
Offensively, I think they're better. Defensively, no. Defensively, no. Offensively, they're way better.
And that's what I try to say is the Chiefs, they got so much lucky calls this year.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't scored more than 30. So what does that say about them?
And other teams have. And that's
The Giants hit 30 once, and they won 3 games this
Was
year.
it against the Seattle Seahawks, I believe?
No, the Colts.
No, did they against Kansas City? I mean, Seattle.
They might have, but against the Colts is when they put up like
And
30,
I don't think
40.
I don't think the Patriots do this year. I don't think they.
Patriots,
Oh no,
I
they
don't-
did. Houston when Drake May started.
That's right. But a lot of teams were under 500. They're like the worst teams in the league, and the Chiefs did not do it once, and they're 15-2. So that, to me, that's an issue going into the playoffs. If you can't put up 30 and you won 15 games.
Because I think they're going to be too line on their defense because they're offensively, like they have good receivers and everything, but at the same time they're not as good.
All right, let's see what bracket we have here.
I think
It's me, the Ravens.
you're the Ravens going all the way.
Yes, I do.
Who are they playing? Detroit.
All right, so I got my wild card winners. I have the Chargers,
Mm-hmm.
so they'll match up against the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got the Ravens taking on the Bills.
Okay.
And then on the NFC side, I got the Commanders taking on the Lions, Vikings taking on the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Eagles do win that because of their running game. So they take on the Lions in the NFC title game.
Mm-hmm.
And my AFC title game, I have the Chargers taking on the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, that's. I mean, look, I said this before. I said I don't think you could beat the same opponent 3 times in a row, especially if they're playing, especially the way they're playing towards the end.
Yeah.
Chargers have been playing very, very well to the end,
Mm-hmm.
and have been playing defensively better and offensively better, moving the ball around with J.K. Dobbins and guess former Baltimore Ravens, might add,
That's right.
will know that team very well, especially if the Chargers could throw the ball over Baltimore. But at the same time, Baltimore's offense could be way too much for them.
All right, we're going to go to Drusty's.
That's mine.
Let's see what Drusty got for us. All right, let's pull this up for Just. All right, Just. Surprised you don't remember.
No, I remember who mine is. I just got one to look at it.
Oh, okay.
Well, if we look at the bottom, I have the Chargers beating the Houston Texans. I think everybody pretty much has it like that. I could flip with Baltimore and Pittsburgh just the way it is, but I think Baltimore's a safe pick just because I think they're just a better team. But who knows? Pittsburgh goes. That's the only game in the wild card I can see being surprised
Yeah.
about. Then I have Buffalo beating the Broncos because Buffalo's just a better team and they're more complete right now. I think there's some missing pieces for Denver. They'll figure out. I have Minnesota beating the Rams. I have Washington beating the Tampa Bay, and then I have Philly beating Green Bay. And if you go to divisional round, I have Buffalo beating Baltimore, which that's going to be a great game no matter what. But I think Buffalo, Josh Allen is in a whole new trajectory. And then if you look when they played each other and after, Baltimore went down a little bit. Buffalo just kept soaring up.
Uh-huh.
So the Chargers, like I said, I don't think you can beat the team 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
Especially you're gonna have the whole month off,
Uh-huh. They're going to go in slow.
and they're going slow. Chargers gonna be fast paced, getting down the field, getting points as fast as they can because they know how they are. And then you go to the NFC side. I have Detroit beating the Commanders because I think those 2 overpowered in offense.
Mm-hmm.
And I have Philly beating Minnesota because I think Philly would give Sam Darnold a headache the entire time.
I think so, too.
And then we go into the championship game. I have Buffalo beating the Chargers because Buffalo's just a better team. And then I have the Detroit beating Philly. That's going to be a good game, but Detroit always finds a way to win. This
They do.
year, always finds a way to win.
I think they're hungry and they want it.
But then I think the Super Bowl will be Buffalo and the Detroit. I have Buffalo beating them just because I just feel like they're going to be a little more experienced. I know it'll be Josh Allen's first, but I don't think he'll let that get to his head.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll be calm, cool, and it'll be an offensive game.
Oh, yeah, I
But
agree.
whoever gets the ball last will win that game. I think Buffalo will.
Could be a good Super Bowl if it's Buffalo versus
That's
Detroit.
going to be like a high scoring,
Yeah,
well, we already saw a preview of that.
Yeah, we saw it.
And Buffalo took it to them.
Buffalo took it to them.
So, and that was like on what, 80 point spread?
Something like
I
that.
think it was like 80 points.
It was a good game, I'll tell you that
It was a
much.
very good game.
So we are going to take a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about 2 coaches. And we both have a point for Jim Harbaugh, and he has a point for Mike Tomlin that he brought up a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be right back on the Doug Saravo Show, which is brought to you by our good friends at Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. We will see everybody in just a few seconds. See everybody then.
But to go and like react from a fiscal standpoint and from a civil rights standpoint to close everything, I find it hard to get behind.
Democrats. Thanks to Democrats. Thanks to the Democrats, by the way.
Nancy Pelosi should not be 84 years old and still be sitting as the House Speaker.
Like an idiot.
I'm an idiot.
Actually, like can get in there and like do things, like Donald Trump Jr. like
Puerto Rican. You're Latino.
I'm an American.
I would like Ivanka to run.
Yeah, or Tulsi Gabbard. She's
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back on the Doug Sharaba Show, which is brought to you by Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. So you could join us on Monday night, 7:30 p.m. We will have our first ever debate, and we will be discussing two teams who we think could win the Super Bowl. The Giants from 2007, or the Patriots, or the Steelers
09.
from 09.
Definitely 08, but I mean.
Yeah, the whole numbers is weird because they played
Yeah.
in 2008.
So like the
Super Bowl.
Giants would be 06 to 07, and Pittsburgh would be 08 to 09.
Yeah, it's the way they label it's weird a little
Yeah,
bit.
because they technically won it that year, but it's also the 2006 season.
Yeah, it's weird.
It is very weird.
So Jim Harbaugh,
Mm-hmm.
I think he's proven that he's a good coach, and the level does not matter where it's at. College, NFL, high school, because you got to start somewhere.
I think he actually just started in high school. I don't
He
think
might have.
college. I don't think he went to high school.
Yeah, I want to look that up now.
Yeah, we could look up him later.
Yeah.
And we could like.
Whereas some coaches, they fail miserably at certain levels.
Mm-hmm.
You could look at Chip Kelly. He went to the NFL. Or even Matt
Well,
Rule. He went to the NFL and he was a disaster.
Chip Kelly had 1 or 2 good seasons, and after that, it was a flop.
Yeah, so Jim Harbaugh is showing that he could turn any organization, any program around, and he did it quickly with the LA Chargers. And as we remember, going back to like September, October, I had to be realistic for saying the Chargers, a rebuilding team, is going to the playoffs. And I understand your point. First of all, I was a moron. Let's not be politically
Delusional.
correct. I was an idiot for saying the Vegas Raiders are going to the playoffs.
I did,
Let's get it that way. Let's put that out there.
I questioned that. Minnesota, I said I could see that because I don't know with Sam Darnold how it's going to be.
But I was an idiot for saying Vegas. Let's put it that way.
I don't know why you said that. I even told you with Peterson and everything.
Yeah.
Like, he did not deserve to be in that head, and he got fired.
Yeah. And I never admit when I'm wrong, but there we go. First time for
Well,
everything.
no, and you also scoff at me for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but you have a point to make after that, so.
Well, we'll see.
So I think Jim Harbaugh should be coach of the year. I think he's proven that he could improve any organization, any team, and the Chargers went from 5 wins to 12 wins. And if there's a team that I really want to see win the Super Bowl this year, I can't root for Joe Burrow. I can't root for the Bengals, Trey Hendrickson, Mike Gesicki, Jamar Chase, all these great players in the Bengals organization. So you know what, Mike? I hate your Chargers, but for your memory, let's go Chargers. I think they're going to go on a run.
They absolutely can, but I think just because of, if they're going to
be on the road.
They're going to be they're going to be Houston. Houston's not the same team as they were last year.
No, they're not.
It's the Chiefs I do question mark because
they're going to the cold.
But they're used to playing the
Oh
cold.
yeah, they could handle.
They're not bad for playing the cold and everything.
And Herbert went to Oregon, so he played in the cold.
But that whole team is fine because I don't think it's going to affect them at all because they'll get used to it and everything. But even if they beat them, then you got to either play Buffalo or Buffalo or Bengals.
Yeah,
you got the Bengals in my head now. The Ravens.
Yeah, they got to play a
that's
huge test.
tough.
That's huge. But we've seen Baltimore collapse year in and year out.
I
think Jimmy H is going to want revenge against his brother.
I could see that. That's gonna be that'd be a great game, honestly. I would love to see.
Come on, first conference championship appearance in 10+ years, and you're playing your brother?
Yeah, in a different division.
In a different division, same conference.
Yeah, it'll be
It'll be fun. That's why I can't wait for these playoffs.
But we'll see, because a lot of things could happen. Baltimore could be one and done.
Yeah, we don't know. Honestly, we do not know. That's the best part about
we
this
could
year.
see Denver being Buffalo being one and done. 'Cause we don't know.
You don't know what's going to happen with
'Cause
Bo Nix and these Broncos.
It's also because wild card weekend. It's point intended. It's wild.
It's wild.
It's like you never know what team, especially the Rams can maybe beat Minnesota, even though I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
But you never know. Tampa has a chance against Washington because they're both the same team.
They are.
And then Philly with Green Bay. I think Philly wants that straight up, honestly.
Yeah, I don't see Green Bay winning. I hate to say it.
Because Green Bay, last year,
Green Bay's choking.
when Green Bay
They're getting cold.
when Green Bay
No pun intended.
That's fine. When Green Bay won their division, or not, they had the wild card spot. They were the 7th seed playing the Cowboys, or whoever they were playing. No, Cowboys were 2nd or 3rd. I think second. They were.
Yeah.
There were 2 playing Green Bay. Green
Yeah.
Bay went into that end
And
of the season,
blew them away.
but into that season hot.
Yeah.
And Green Bay kept rolling through and beat them. Green
I
Bay-
agree with that.
Right now,
I agree.
Green Bay's not like that right now.
No, they're not. They look cold.
Yeah, and that's, you can't go cold going into the game. But also, like I said before, you're 0-0.
Yeah.
Your new
You
season-
start over.
You start over. It's a whole new season.
You start over.
Yeah.
And if the Steelers lose, is this the end of the Mike Tomlin era? Because Russell Wilson came in and they finished the same way, 10-7. Nothing changed.
I'm gonna say,
And it's been that way since Big Ben retired. No
Yes.
offense, but it's been that way for the last
no, it's
5
been,
or so years.
it's been like that for a while. I mean, Mike Tomlin is a hell of a coach. He's a really great coach. Something's got to change. If something doesn't get changed, maybe I'll give it one more year. Because it's new quarterback. Maybe they keep him for a while. They'll keep Russell. Let's just see. But if things don't change, I could say next year he might be gone.
Yeah.
Because things got to start
Got
changing.
to clean house.
It's not even got to clean house. I think you just got to find a better. Because who knows if Arthur Smith leaves.
Yeah, I
And
think
they-
he will.
and they
I
gotta-
think he'll take a coaching job.
I don't know, because it could be like the whole not Jaden Daniels, the offensive coordinator from the Patriots with Tom Brady, McDaniels. He was very good as offensive coordinator. Then he went to the Broncos. Garbage. He was not that great. Then he went back to New England. Fantastic. The offense was number one. Then he went to the Broncos. He couldn't do nothing, and or vice versa. He went to the Raiders. Excuse me. He went to the Raiders, and now he's nowhere now.
Yeah, so it varies. I think Tomlin's a good coach, but
Yeah,
all right. You know how I feel about the whole system quarterback conversation.
yeah. That we could go more thoroughly with another day, because that's a whole thing.
The quarterback position is changing. It's evolving. You don't have pocket passers anymore.
There's
There's
a couple.
a couple, but you don't have them. They run the ball. Burrow, you could consider pocket passer,
He's a pocket passer.
but he runs the ball when he has a chance.
When he has a chance, yeah.
Anthony Richardson, he runs the ball. Josh Allen runs the ball. There's no, I'm going to stay back here. I mean, you could even blame the O-line, who knows. But there's no quarterbacks that stay out there and just lob the ball out. So maybe you could say Mike Tomlin is, I wouldn't say he's conservative, old-fashioned, but I feel like his system is more for, the running backs, they're going to run the ball. And the quarterbacks, they're going to throw the ball. So you can even put it at that standpoint that his game style, his system, it's where we had Breeze, we had Roethlisberger, we had Eli, we had Peyton, we had Tom, we had Phillip Rivers. It could be his game plan doesn't fit today's style of football.
Yeah, it's not evolving, and that makes more sense. But at the same time, I think if he does get with that program, I think he'll be just fine. But at the same time, it's the same thing. We get in the playoffs, we're 10-7, great, that's fantastic. But at the same time,
It's the same thing.
now if they could win a playoff game, all right, that'll put a whole new thing in them. I'll be happy if they win a playoff game against Baltimore, because that's going to blow everything out the water.
Uh-huh.
And then if Russell could show that he's a dynamic quarterback, like he could play, because even when they played Baltimore, in the I think it was week 15, whatever it was, or week 16, he was throwing the ball down the field with no problem,
Yeah.
even without George Pickens. If he didn't fumble, that game would have been totally different
Mm-hmm.
and everything. So with that being said, I think they go in there like this is a whole new season. Let's show them what we got. Let's not show them the old, we went 0-4 in the last 4 games. Let's show them something different. And maybe they go down there and be better. Who knows?
Oh, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
So if you want to see more in Jimmy, join us Monday night, and we will have our debate on our Giants, our Steelers of old, and who would win the Super Bowl and come out on top. It was supposed to be a Super Bowl matchup, but unfortunately the Giants choked that home seed away. So join us on Monday for our debate, and we'll see everybody next time.